Hi there, everyone. This is a sun video, I know, but I wanted to address this. Yeah, a couple of months ago, I did say that I was going to try and avoid discussing Diaz Station, Zaid Magenta, all over again, blah blah blah, because it's um, well, he's back now, so it's kind of relevant now to discuss it. Especially since LioConvoy has made a video, an open letter, which I thought was very well done in regard to everything that has happened in. Uh, sorry, everything that happened in Diaz's video that he had uploaded in regard to his first. No, it wasn't his first video, but it was Diaz's first. I keep doing that. Sorry, no. It was a video he posted in regard to basically introducing people to the channel and why he wanted to do it, etc., etc. But yeah, LioConvoy also played through that video and yeah, had definitely noticed a lot of glaring issues, which obviously we to anyone who knows about Diaz, Zaid, Misanthroponi, whatever you want to call him, and his past behavior shows that yeah, there's still a lot of um, issues in that particular video that he has blatantly shown off, because that's just the type of his type of individual that he is. I have sorry, I've known people on the spectrum. In fact, actually, a couple of weeks ago, I'm not going to mention their name, but I'm just going to say yeah, a couple of weeks ago, another particular individual who had similar anger issues. He um, had posted a journal on Fur Affinity, which he had quickly removed. But he did that, and I had or wanted to show some support for the guy um, at that particular moment. But then that became a bit of a heated argument between the two of us, and basically with me saying, look, you really do need to let go of your issues with these people. They don't owe you any kind of explanation as to why they may have cut you off or whatever. The best thing to do is to try and just, ignore them, get them out of your life, and, just move on. But they admit that it's hard to do. And yeah, I'm assuming this is very true for many on the spectrum. You know, I mean, it's even happened with me as well. I've been wronged by people, and you know, you do feel angry about it, and it sometimes comes back, and you just feel absolute hatred for a particular someone who you see has wronged you. But yes, if you just hang on to that, it's just going to spiral out of control. The best thing to do is to forget about it and move on, because otherwise you're just going to drive yourself crazy. Otherwise, well, excuse me. Well, I've learned to do with that, and I have dealt with that in quite a few occasions. But I can understand to some it may not be that easy. I'm guessing it depends on you know past experiences, what you decide to learn from and what you don't learn from, or what you choose to do. If you choose to heed people's advice or not, and and all that. It's all. Sorry, this is all completely unscripted, so I'm going to get my words scrambled as usual. But yeah, but there is a pattern I've noticed from people on the spectrum, and all this has been going on. But yeah, with LioConvoy, I've noticed, of course, in quite a few of his videos since the whole addressing things thing came out. He's learned a whole lot from past mistakes and has changed, which is all for the better. Um, and he didn't have to do that video for Diaz at all. He just did it of his own fruition. He, genuinely wanted to help him. He didn't have to again make the video, and who knows, like Diaz is probably going to see it and he'll immediately do maybe a pretty nasty video in response. You know, I'm not going to do the voice on camera, but yeah, he might, you know, respond in such a nasty way. He might not. He might not though. He may perhaps respond in a way which says, you know, I'll think about it, but you know, it's best, you know, just to take the advice, heed it to heart, and hopefully, you know, not repeat the mistakes from before. That, and also, again, you know, we're all thinking it, you know, the hate done video, you know, he's in that particular video on his channel, he says, "Oh, I'm not going to do the video," but yeah, when you add the but, it means, or actually, he said in his own words that he was going to do it in a different way. So yes, that means you are still planning to use. You are still planning to use. Sorry, I keep doing that again. This is completely unscripted. You are still going to make the hate done video. You're just sugarcoating it. I'm sorry. You were just saying going the long way around, or making it sound like it's something completely different, when really we know it's the hate done video, and you're still going to do it. That is a sheer sign that, you know, you have not let go of, Diaz rather, yeah, has not let go of his anger at all. And partially, some of that partially again might be due to him grieving again, since in that video we learned that he had lost his mother as well. I think at the time when I watched it, it was not long after he posted it. I thought that probably may have happened before his father's passing, but after watching LioConvoy's video and how he reacted, like he basically said, "I didn't know that happened until until I watched that video." So meaning, so that actually happened after his father's passing. So yeah, I mean, it explains a lot, you know, to some of his behavior, but once again, like his father, it doesn't excuse it. I mean, yeah, there's grieving, and then there's, you know, it's probably again may have accelerated his anger slightly, and whenever someone criticizes him or talks badly about him, he attacks them. Which again, you know, if someone's like criticizing you, it's that's the thing with some people on the spectrum. They feel like they're being personally attacked if they're being, you know, criticized, even though that's not always the case. When someone gives a criticism, it's usually supposed to be like, yeah, this is good, but it could have been better, and this is what you could have done to make it better. Not saying you are bad or what you produced is bad, but to me, my expectations wasn't fully fulfilled, and this is what you could have done to make it better. Yeah, and that's usually what it's supposed to be. But to somebody on the spectrum, a criticism could very well be like, "Oh, this is absolutely terrible. This shouldn't exist. You are a terrible person. Why did you do this? Why did you waste like 10 minutes of my time?" Like watching something that I practically already knew about or whatever. And again, to that particular person on the spectrum, they'll see it as an attack, and they could very well react the same way as Diaz does. And if actually this, just what's on my mind, which LioConvoy also brought up in the video, is the constant fact that Diaz thinks that people attack him because of his critical reactions to stuff that he doesn't enjoy. You know, all the usual stuff. I'm not going to go into all that again, but okay, just like for a prime example being, you know, the sequel Star Wars trilogy. To which, yes, you can be critical of that and say, this film is problematic, this film is problematic, and this film is problematic because of, you know, and you can calmly go over the issues. I think I may have said this before at some point in another video, but yeah, you can just calmly explain what makes you think that these particular movies are bad, and of course, he has done so, but in a way that, you know, probably imitates other internet reviewers, like, because pretty much, again, going back to the whole cartoon sheet thing, one of the things he did to avoid Diaz back then was because of his approach to his reviews. That he always constantly comes off as being bitter and angry and using ableist language and whatnot, which made Cartoonshi think, no, this isn't the sort of person I want to deal with. So I'll, I only talked to him a couple of times, but I don't really want to deal with him on a regular basis, so I'll avoid him. And then, of course, that caused Diaz to think that this was a personal attack. Although Cartoonshi didn't directly say that he had blocked or wanted to avoid contact with Diaz at the time, but yeah, he did make that public later. But to Diaz at the time, he was like, oh, this is a personal attack. Why did you block me? Why did you do this? Exactly, like pretty much like the person on FA I mentioned. Like if anybody blocked them, he would like react the same way. He'll be like, "What? Why did you do this? I didn't do anything wrong. Why?" And I mean, yeah, it's upsetting at first, but really, if you continue to dwell on that, then you're just going to drive yourself crazy. Really, what should happen is, if someone blocks you, be like, their loss. I'll move on. But yeah, but to some of them, it becomes an obsession. And with Zaid, Diaz, whatever, that has become an obsession. And that's why he made all the alt accounts, all the burner accounts to like not only harass Cartoonshi back then, but recently, like in the last couple of years, he also did the same thing on Twitter to many other users. And this is where he made all those like very horrible posts saying, "Oh, you should be shot by mobsters" and that kind of thing. Because again, that's further proof that he's having immense difficulty managing his anger. Some of it could be out of the fact that he has now lost his parents, which is sad. As it explains a lot. It doesn't excuse it for sure, but it does explain it. Again, LioConvoy was very remorseful the fact that Zaid had lost his Diaz, sorry, had lost his mother, and even pointed that out in the video. For someone like myself, that really made me count my blessings, because I still have both parents in my life, and I always say to my mother that I always appreciate the help that she gives me, and I really do mean that. I don't just say it as like it may come off as a bit repetitive that I keep constantly saying it to her, but I do mean it. It's something I do genuinely mean, because I'll be lost without her. So that shows, how lucky I am to have her in my life. So yeah, because I know that some people now, like Diaz, is sadly not in that situation, especially since, according to LioConvoy, she was his primary caretaker. Now, fingers crossed. Hopefully, he's doing fine for the most part. Outside, which he admits in that video that he's doing well. He's got a job, great. He's getting a lot of like interactivity with stuff going on outside. Again, great. And if he wants to continue doing his online reviews, that's fine. But people will and can still criticize him due to his approach. If he's still going to continue with the same approach of using ableist language and say that Hollywood's on an agenda to destroy everything that was pure and decent just to make a quick buck or whatever, I mean, that's his, you can have his opinion, but he the way he phrases it, if he changes it and become much like LioConvoy and become like a lot calmer and think things over before putting things on paper or even to video, voice, whatever, that would be great. And people might start thinking, going, "Oh, you know what? He's actually doing quite well. He's following to heart people's advice finally, and he's getting over the anger issues and doing these reviews on a more critical level, which terrific." Yeah, I haven't seen that many of his videos because because well, from that video that was shown off in LioConvoy's video, it's basically typical, misanthropony, Zaid Magenta, Diaz station, whatever you call him, behavior. It's still going to be the same. Oh, one thing I do want to address while it's on my mind. Yes, you may have noticed that I've removed the Zaid Magenta removal of his old account videos, but basically, me wearing the lion mask, the same one that LioConvoy self has, the one with the frightening eyes. But yeah, that video, yeah, I've since removed that since, well, it really makes no sense now because, Zaid's back as the ad station, so it makes the video completely pointless at the time. And also, B, I didn't really want to appear like one of his haters, because he hasn't actually attacked me personally, and thankfully, I'm again very thankful for that, and hopefully that's going to be, that's all it's going to be. That's just. I mean, I'm very small. I'm a very small blip on his radar, and hopefully that will be the case pretty much for good. But just in case, yeah, I thought it was silly, yeah. Even though I did leave like a thoughtful message telling him to, hopefully that you will change. And that last bit though, that still remains true. I mean, again, much like LioConvoy, I see potential. Believe it or not, I actually do see genuine potential in Diaz station to actually do good. Though who knows if he's going to follow up on that. And it also drew some parallels to, well, Just a Robot as well, saying that some of the stuff he put in that video was very much, I guess, damage control, which it was, because he, at first associated with Just a Robot before the whole Cinebear 03 thing stuff came out, and decided to completely disassociate with him and make his own channel. But yeah, even though Just a Robot made his mistakes, Diaz made it out like he's like an absolutely terrible monster, which isn't true. I mean, it's the same thing like someone did some kind of remix. I can't remember who it is, but they did like an AI remix on Diaz Station, and some of the lyrics claim that he was a pedophile, but there's no proof of that. Plus, also, he, is flat out against people who harm young children, and has gone on record many times, including one of his re-uploads in regard to that Netflix film Cuties, and to is as to why he hates it so much. So, yeah, that's the thing. It's people throwing around a lot of misinformation, and it really damages one's credibility. You really got to have all the facts in front of you before doing anything. But then, if you may have been misinformed about something, then usually people would make a video or a little addendum to it, like maybe in a comment or in the description or something, saying, "Oh, since the making of this video, something else has happened," or "this revelation has come to life." People do try to correct any errors that may have occurred. LioConvoy is one of them. Quite often, or sometimes, if that happens, he would try and make a little addendum to that as well. Whilst somebody like Diaz, or maybe Just a Robot, if he was still around, or seems anyone else, they get so personally not involved. They get so very emotionally driven. That's it. Very emotionally driven by what had wronged them, that they just spout out whatever and make it sound like the truth, even though all it does is it makes people question your credibility, or even your sources or whatever, thinking, wait, is this true? This isn't true? Which is why I waited last year for LioConvoy to do his video. This was when all the accusations were coming out against him. And I thought to myself, some of this doesn't really seem to gel from what I've seen in the past. So I would wait until he does his video and explain what's going on. And so I waited, and he did. He did the 3.5 hour addressing things video, of which I did see the entire thing from start to finish, and got the full broader scope as to what was going on. So that was because I'd waited and gathered, waited for the information for the yeah. Sorry, I gathered. Sorry, again, this is all completely unscripted. But yeah, I waited for his response so that I got all the information in regard to the situation and formed my own judgment. Sorry, it took about a minute to get all that out. But yeah, he and of course he did all that, and it did help, and that was why I see him as a very credible source. Whilst other people, unless they are willing to take their time and to properly establish what's going on, then yeah, your sources aren't going to be, or what you say on your own isn't going to adhere to much, especially when it comes to what you have to say about another person. So yeah, you've really got to be careful about that and make sure you have all the facts before you enter a judgment. But of course, as far as the station is concerned, we're just only forming our opinions from what he has done himself in the past. So yeah, there you go. But the reason why I removed that video was because I didn't want to seem like one of his detractors was doing like a victory lap, because which I admit, yeah, I kind of did, even though he hadn't really wronged me. I admit I kind of jumped on a bit of a bandwagon there. Probably not the wisest thing to have done, but hey, that's my bad. And as I said, the video's gone now. If he's back, fine. As I said, he can just do his own thing, and LioConvoy again says the same thing. If he wants to do his reviews, that's fine. Maybe the more videos he does, he might the way he does his reviews might actually start to change. Maybe he sort of realizes perhaps coming off sounding as angry or using such ableist language isn't really getting my point across the way I want it to, and hopefully he'll change as a result. And yeah, that would be terrific. But from what I've seen thus far, and everybody, I guess, really much seems to be in agreement, is that he hasn't changed, and the likelihood of him changing is very slim. And I can honestly see where they're coming from, just from what he has been displaying fairly recently. And again, massive, massive kudos to LioConvoy for doing that video, especially since Diaz practically threw him under the bus on that video of him supposedly addressing his own failures on his own channel, but that didn't really come to light. It was kind of more of him once again trying to make him look like he was in the right, trying to paint Jar as some kind of monster. What he did was wrong, yes, but it could have been much worse. And then just flat out saying that that LioConvoy was evil, or going along those lines, is just and it's just, yeah. And after he did that, like I said, after he did that, Lio just went ahead and did his video regardless of all that, which is absolutely commendable, because naturally you'd think, oh, this person's talking absolute trash about me, I'm not going to make a video about him, he can go off and do his own thing. But no, the fact that he's still willing to help him even after all this has gone down, it's absolutely commendable. You can't really deny that. That is going really above and beyond what anyone really is expected to do. And for that, that's absolutely blinding. That really is, in an absolute good way. Didn't have to do it, but he did. And but of course, whether or not Diaz is going to take his words to heart is that's all really up to him if he's going to change or not. Um, yeah, there was there was something else as I was discussing that came into my head, and it's completely gone out of my head now. Um, but yeah, whether or not he wants to change, again, it's on him. If he does change, great. But but people have given him that opportunity to change in the past. Again, even LioConvoy did that, and he still continued to be the same person. And yeah, if he it just happens, that you expect, you would hope that somebody will change, but if they don't change, then at least you say you tried. At least you can honestly say that you've tried, and yeah. And as I said, I too have, hoping that he changes as well. I mean, yeah, I poke fun of him from time to time over his behaviour in the past, though I'm curbing on that now. Especially since, well, he hasn't done anything too stupid as of late, but, well, again, well, if he does something, again, very controversial, we'll find out. But, yeah. But again, like with, like Convoy, like LioConvoy said in regard to him making his hate, making his hate video, yeah, I too would say, don't, because all you're going to do is you're just going to add fuel to the fire, and you're giving your haters an excuse to hate on you even more. And when's it going to end? It's just going to be a never-ending cycle. This is what I mean. You have to let this go. You just have to let it go and just continue doing your own thing at your own pace, and you'll soon discover, yeah, it's a lot easier just to do your own thing than it is just to continue hating on people that you think have wronged you. Because you continue to do that, you're just going to absolutely, so you're going to drive yourself to be absolutely crazy. Sorry, but yeah, you're driving yourself to be angry for no reason. Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention was, using autism itself as an ableist term, as a slur of some kind, is, especially on somebody on the spectrum itself, makes you look like a complete hypocrite. It really does. Because, like, unless, this might be attuned to some kind of, self-hatred, he's probably thinking to himself, oh, I absolutely hate myself. Again, not doing the voice, but but he might be thinking to himself, oh, I absolutely hate being on the spectrum and just wish I can be, not on the spectrum, which is fine. You can feel that way. But yeah, but you are who you are, and using, I mean, it's, I can understand that it is tempting, but you really shouldn't use, like your own disability to try and create some kind of a slur or whatever to use against other people who might be on the spectrum or not. I mean, well, yeah, there of course it all leads into a certain R word, which I have used myself, though I try to use it ironically. For somebody who isn't like that, who is acting in that sort of way, which is why people use it as an ironic term to begin with. But no, but if I know beforehand, if someone has special needs or anything like that, I would really avoid using that. I mean, it's bad enough that there is that word to begin with, and so it would just be absolutely sad if the term autism would just be used as a constant slur, especially used by someone who's on the spectrum himself. That really does make it sad. Um, so yeah, that if anything, I probably should be offended by that. But I know because it wasn't directed, not directly toward me, so that's why I'm not appearing to be as offended by that. But to some people, that could really be, incredibly hurtful, especially since they themselves might feel, self-loathing because they're on the spectrum as well, and just to be constantly reminded of that, and even like turned it into a slur it's just not on. For someone on the spectrum like yourself, Diaz, you should really know better than to do that. And if that's the kind of thing we're expecting from you from this new channel, then yeah, it's like what everyone says, the likelihood of you changing is going to be very slim, and that in itself is the saddest thing of all, is someone who just continues being as they are, with their carrying their faults with them, learning not to let go of their anger and just continue making the same mistakes. I understand, of course, it is hard, but do try to learn, because otherwise, when's this cycle going to end? And that's basically all I've got to say on the situation right now. And yeah, I've been rambling on now for about half an hour. So thanks very much for watching this completely unscripted video. And hopefully you may have taken something out of this. And yeah, have a good day, everyone. And do take care. Bye.